This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to How You Doin, a health and wellness podcast from INCRadio New York Satellite Studio. Whether you're on the go or taking a minute to breathe, we've got real tips, good conversations, and weekly check-ins to help you live well without losing your city pace. Are you ready? Let's get to it.
Welcome to How You Doing, brought to you by INCRadio New York Satellite Studio. And today we'll be talking about continuing to talk about health and wellness in real practical ways to fit in your everyday life. And in today's main topic, we are talking about the gratitude effect. But before we do get started, please don't forget our YouTube live chat is happening. And so you can shout out your local congregation, or you can answer also our question of the week and let us know the question of the week, the answer to the question of the week. And the question of the week is, what's one of the things, it can either be big or small, you are grateful for today that you are usually overlooked? Start a 7-day gratitude note, such as writing down one specific moment each day that made you smile, feel and supported, or feel seen. We are celebrating the American Thanksgiving last Thursday. That's why this topic has been brought up. So, just in case, for the rest of the people in the world, if you don't know, it is every last Thursday of the month in November. It is the American Thanksgiving celebration. So, and we had a lot of turkeys. Well, I didn't have a lot of turkeys, but yeah. How are you doing, Sister Abby? Did you have a lot of turkeys for your American Thanksgiving?
Not this year. This year was focused more like I guess a Filipino dish basis. So yes, as the years go on, it's towards the end of the year too, we also kind of reflect back on this past year and what we can be, thankful for, and whatnot, and what we can be grateful for. So let us know in the chat. What are some things that you are grateful for today or yesterday or this week? And then we can, read it throughout the show. Brother Lance and I were like talking about how cold it got. But so I am grateful for warm sweaters and warm coats.
There isn't much retail sale this year either, so the Black Friday wasn't as great either. Didn't do much shopping either, but hopefully there's still some cheap stuff happening online for Cyber Monday. But yeah, so what's happening in our district, Sister Abby?
Yes. So on to our next segment, where you are at or where you at. So again, this is where we're gonna you can represent your local congregation or extension or group worship service and bring your local A game. So again, we'll count each person from your local extension or group worship service that would comment, answer a question, or give a shout out. So again, don't forget to include your name, your local congregation, give a shout out. And unfortunately, we're not doing any more hashtags, so try not to spam the chat. And then the local with the most entries will win, and we'll announce the winner next week. So last week, we actually have two top congregations. So congratulations to Belmore and Bronx. So we'll see who will be the next top local congregation for next week. But also, in addition, we're going to have a friendly competition between locals and also our Christian Family Organization groups, or CFO. So don't forget to represent, in addition to your local, your CFO group, such as if you're Buklod, those who are married, Kadiwa, 18 and above, unmarried, Binhi, those who are baptized, and 17 years and younger, and the Christian Worship Service Group, so those CWS. And again, we'll also announce those winners for next week's show. So hopefully, we'll see which CFO group and local congregation will be on top. But I guess we can now go to our main topic.
Yes, let's go to our main topic, which is the gratitude effect. Today, we're diving into one of the most underrated tools in health and wellness, gratitude. Not the greeting card, feel good kind. This is the science backed, mind body rewiring kind. So, research showed that gratitude can lower stress hormones, boost immunity, improve sleep, strengthen relationship, and even reshape how our brain responds to daily challenges. It's more than a mood, it is a sociological shift. That is a hard word right there. And a daily health habit. So, in today's episode, we are breaking down how gratitude influences everything from the nervous system to your emotional resilience, and how just a few intentional moments each day can change the trajectory of your well being. So, what is being grateful means, Sister Abby?
So, according to the dictionary, being grateful or the meaning of grateful is appreciative of benefits received, feeling or showing thanks. Um, so, yeah, so you're appreciative or you are thankful for things that happened in your life or things that were done to you. Um, so I know there's also like sometimes there's confusion or people, not confusion, but it's like similar to being thankful. Um, so people can interchange being thankful and being or grateful or having gratitude. But usually being thankful is it like an immediate emotion in response to a particular event, while being grateful is a deeper, more general, consistent attitude of appreciation of one's life. So it's more like more, I guess, broader for being grateful, like big picture, while being thankful is like sometimes associated with something more specific. So I guess that's what being grateful or having gratitude is.
So there you go. You know the difference now, being grateful and being thankful. But how do you practice gratitude, Sister Abby? Do you do it daily, weekly, or you do it hourly?
Um, I guess right now, I think I feel like I do it maybe daily, or like intermittently throughout the day, especially if I have downtime, or if I'm not stressed out. But yeah, like it's more of like I should make it a point, like you should like reflect on the day or reflect on the hour, not on the hour, but like every so often on why you are grateful for that day. um I really don't have like a specific amount of time I am, but I feel like at least daily. How about you, brother Lance?
I think back then when I was younger, I think it's more daily since I have more time. But now it has gotten busy as an adult. I think it's more of a weekly basis.
Mm.
So, because it's so busy throughout the day and like 24/7, you barely get any sleep. So it's as much as I want to be grateful every day, I think the time to reflect and sit down is more at the end of the week now, because that's only usually it's only in the weekends or maybe the Saturdays that you have the time to just sit down and reflect on what's happening throughout the week. As much as we want to reflect on every day, there's too many things going on. So I think for me, it is weekly. But for our listeners and viewers, how do you practice gratitude? Let us know. Do you practice it weekly, hourly, or every day? As much as I want to practice this every day, it's hard. It's hard to look back.
I think Sister Josephine says daily prayer. So
Mm,
yes, yeah. When we pray, we first, thank our Almighty God for everything. So that's like kind of like, when you pray, you reflect and be grateful for what God has blessed you and what has happened in your life. So yeah.
that's a good way to look at it. Now, how does gratitude influence your stress hormones, nervous system regulation, or overall emotional resilience? That's a tough one, but
Yeah, it's it's been there are studies done where it looks on how like gratitude can affect on your life. It can be, emotionally, and it's been shown that it also helps and reduces stress. And having stress, it creates like these hormones and stress, like cortisol and stuff like that, that can affect your physical health. So, practicing gratitude or having practicing gratitude can reduce the stress and also, you know, um, uh, uh, improve your health. So you're not as stressed. So you're not putting all that stress on your body that can affect your overall physical wellness. It also shows, it reduces depression or sadness, because people who are grateful, they report that they have higher satisfaction with their life. They have stronger social relationships and they have more self esteem, compared to those who do not practice gratitude. Um, and it also lessens anxiety. So you're not as worried, you're not always thinking negatively. And it's also been shown that it's a good coping mechanism or a coping tool to help with anxiety. It combats or changes your way of thinking negatively, and try to focus on the present and the positive things that you have on your life in the past or in the future. So it's good to practice gratitude or try to include it in your life, because sometimes people go into a spiral when you're very stressed or you're experiencing like difficult things. You tend to forget the good that has happened.
exactly. So we have some couple greetings, not greetings, but comments. Uh, Grateful for the love of our mighty God from Sister Emma for giving us opportunity to have this segment. But thankful for the church administration, and then Sister Joy Parsha. Gratitude affects strengthens relationship. Sister Amelia Banting said gratitude is the virtue. With it comes humility, kindness, patience, and etc. Gratitude is an attitude and not a platitude. What is a platitude? It's a big word. And then Sister Diane, gratitude helps me to stay calm and humble. I am thankful for my parents despite them living on the other coast. I love you both, Kamani and Kasendi. And Sister Delisa Fernando said, hashtag Balmore, be thankful to God every day for the life and strength that He has given us, especially as steadfast faith. And Sister Hungry Hufflepuff, most days I journal about my day to win. This is Sister Sophia Espiritu from Belmore. To wind down, and I try to write down at least one thing I'm grateful for, even the smallest thing. So I guess that's a good way to reflect on what's happening on your daily life is having a journal itself. Because I think it's a way to de-stress also at the end of the day, right? Uh,
Yeah. um I remember I used to journal back in the day, when I was an angsty teenager. and, and then now looking back at it, I was just like, man, it's actually more like comedy for me now, because I was like, wow, look at how, and then you see how much you've grown, and how much you matured throughout your years and how you learn to manage your emotions and, change your way of thinking. So yeah, when I want a good laugh, I read back on those teenager emotions that I had back in the day.
I would like to see that one. What kind of roller coaster were you in as a teenager?
Yeah, like when you're in it, you don't realize how like, not, I don't want to say emotional, but how like strong feelings you have. And And sometimes, when you get it out instead of taking it out, because, when some people are stressed, some people are angry or upset, whenever having these big emotions, it may be misplaced and you'll take it out on someone, and you don't want to do that to people that you care about and love. So if you're having these emotions, like, maybe it's best to take a step back, write it down, and then it kind of also redirects your thoughts too, right? Then you can start focusing on what's important, and like how you're gonna tackle these things and these problems or whatnot. And then, it also slows your mind down, right? Because when you're thinking, I know for me, I think faster. Like, my mind goes like faster than what, I can like process. So I think with writing things down, you can, fully process what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And then you can also remind yourself, like, okay, now I got all my negative stuff out. What am I thankful for? What am I grateful for? Like, what's the positive that I can find in this thing, and or what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. Sister Malaya said, gratitude is vitamin G. Yeah, it was really helpful. I think at one point when I was in elementary, I tried doing journaling just to help uh look back on the rest of my day. But I haven't touched a notebook in a while, so maybe it's a good way to like kind of note down what I need to do, and also what kind of good things that happen throughout the day. So maybe for those who needs an extra boost of gratitude, then maybe start journaling about your everyday life. See what's happening and what has gone well. Even though there's a lot of things that's stressful throughout the day, I'm sure there's still a lot more things to be thankful for, to be gratitude for. And again, what's the next question is, how has gratitude helped you during a difficult season?
I think it just reminds us about, like, even though you feel like things are not going your way, like, even just a small thing, it can remind you, it's like, oh, well, you know, at least I have XYZ. You know, it's like you're getting, like, for example, I know it's like what, college season. People are applying for schools now, or looking for colleges, or trying to find next steps in the next chapter. Or like you're looking for a new job, or times are tough right now, where things aren't going your way, and but you have to remind yourself, it's like, well, at least I have this, at least I have the ability to have these opportunities, because some people don't even have access, or some people don't have the opportunities that we have. So sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Um, and yeah, I guess, like, you just have to, it's like your life, your strength, your duties, your family, um, and like simple things like that. It's like, well, not saying that people like, try not to compare yourself, but well, what I have now is okay, and I will get there where I want to go eventually.
Yeah, exactly. I think my doctor once said to when I was visiting him one time, he said, if you're in America, you're richer than most of parts of the world. So I think that's one way to look at it. Even
Yeah,
though there's stressful times here uh in America, I think there's a lot to be thankful being in uh not a developing country, but a First Nation country, since it's pretty there's a lot of advancement out here compared to other
yeah.
countries.
Like if you travel or even talk to people in different countries, like, even running water is an issue, or having consistent electricity is an issue. Like, we're also used to internet. Like, some people don't have stable internet, or their country is restricting on how much information you have access to. So, like, you don't realize how, I guess you can say, privileged we are to live in, these types of countries, compared to certain countries in the world. Um, and some people don't have access to even higher education, especially if you don't have the money or the means. Sometimes people are already tracked in a certain way, and there's no way to break out of that track unless you know someone or you have connections. So, um, not to, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, like there's, the little things, like also your health, you kind of doom scroll and you see people who are really sick, young people, and you're like, well, at least I have my strength. I can lift whatever. I can wake up, and have go to the gym or be able to cook or, type or whatnot. And it's kind of, humbling to, see what little things that we sometimes take for granted.
Exactly. I think just enjoy the day to day things. As much as there's a lot of things going on, as much as social media can easily affect us, I think just speak gratitude for the small things, even your electricity. As said my sister Abby, not everyone has electricity throughout the world. You have light
Yeah.
on at like 6 p.m. here or like 4 p.m. And since daylight is shorter now that it is winter, at least you can just flick the switch and you can have lights once again and be in a room full of daylight kind of. So there's something to thankful for, and like the food that you have also. Not everyone has the opportunity to have the same kind of food that you eat up here. This also what should be thankful for. There's a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be grateful for. Uh, so just look back on that. If as mentioned by our brethren in the chat, be thankful for and be grateful also through your daily prayers. Just mention to our Almighty God what you are thankful for or you're grateful for that has blessed you throughout that day. And just continue to look back on what's happening on your life. There might be some ups and downs, but it's never always just down. There's always ups into your everyday life. So it might be a struggle here and there, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll pass through it and be able to get to your next stuff that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and like, if you feel it's difficult to be grateful for, sometimes like you just have to sit down, do like a journaling, or even just if you're with your family, think about something that you're grateful for your family or your friends. There's even suggestions to like create a gratitude jar. So if you find something that you're grateful, you put it on a piece of paper, put it in the jar, and then, when you're having a hard time, you can pick out that pick whatever randomly and like read it. It's like, oh yeah, I remember, when that was a good time, or I can be grateful for that if you're having, some difficulty. And sometimes even volunteering or giving back to your community, your family, helps you also feel a sense of gratitude. I know we can search it online, and tips and tricks that can help you find, um, practicing gratitude. And it makes your heart feel full, and you'll be, well, you can change your mindset instead of being all doom and gloom.
Exactly. And if you have the means, travel the world, go to another country. Because sometimes you tend to overlook of the things that you have here. Because you're just kind of going with the flow up here. If you go to another country, kind of get more of a appreciation for the things that you have. Because you can compare your life from here and what's happening there also. uh, and maybe if you visit a more laid back country or a more uh, rural country or a traditional country, I guess, then it's easier to like compare and contrast. Not that you're comparing and contrast in a bad way, but you tend to have a more appreciative of the luxury that you have up here. So if you have the means, go travel. Even if it's traveling to another state, if you can't travel outside
Yes.
the country,
Yes.
there is a huge difference up here. Also, if you even just go down south or go to another location, then you can easily tell the differences between the people also, and you tend to have more of appreciation of day to day things.
Yes. Well, um, any final thoughts? I guess that's kind of it. But yeah, so take the time, reflect on everything that has gone this past year, this past day. And, always pray and thank our Almighty God for everything He has done for us. So, yeah. So, I guess we can go on to our next segment, which is what we're doing. So, what we can look forward to for tomorrow, those who are Kadiwa and Benhi. The Kadiwa, again, are those who are baptized 18 and above, and Benhi, who are the youth of the church, who are baptized 17 years and younger. We have a special gathering around 5 o'clock. And the host site will be Forest Hills, and there's also sites in Rochester, Rockland, Boston, and Bristol. For further details, you can ask your local leadership or your local CFO officers for more information about the gathering. So we hope to see you all there. And also, parents are also encouraged to attend, support your children in attending this gathering. Okay, so do we have any other shout outs or
Mhm.
greetings that we can read?
I think that's pretty much it. The rest is pretty much the same.
Yes. Yeah, I think we it's all like we have brethren from Forest Hills, we have brethren from Stanford, Belmore, who else? The Bronx. I think I see also Forest Hills again. But we are grateful for those who tuned in to our INC radio show. So we appreciate you all for joining us and talking to us in the YouTube live chat. So I think we can close out the show. That's it for today's show. Thank you again for tuning in. Thank you to the church administration for continuing to give us a platform like this to share and speak about important topics like these. Greetings to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our current Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Rania Manalo. Also, greetings to our INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Tarai, and our executive producer, Kuya Manley and Daya.
And we would also like to greet our District Minister, Brother Sheridan Santos, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Neil Patrick Omedo, and our CFO Advisor, Brother Jason Flores. And gratitude help us slow down, appreciate what is good, stay grounded, even though the small amounts of thankfulness can shift a mindset and strengthen our connection to ourselves and others. And don't forget to tune in again next week. So make sure to come back here on Saturday at 11:30 Eastern Daylight Time or Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Philippine time right here on How You Doing. Have a good day, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone.
Stay warm.
Yeah, try to stay warm and don't get
um,
sick, everyone. Please don't get sick.
yes.